Okay, good afternoon. I'm Captain Emily Herrick, and today I'm going to be talking with y'all about the Strategic Leaders Checklist. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to do this with y'all today, and I hope you're having a good first term officers course this week. So, quick overview. Today we're going to talk about why you need to know about the Strategic Leaders Checklist, what the Strategic Leaders Checklist is, right? And incorporating this into your toolbox as leaders. And of course, it's not an Air Force professional development course if we don't have objectives laid out at the beginning of the lesson. So, for today's objectives are applying this checklist in case studies. We're going to share some personal and unit examples as you feel comfortable. I'd love to have the participation and get to hear about your experiences. And then we're going to practice with some activities, and we're going to reflect on real-world challenges when incorporating strategic leadership. So rolling right into why do you care? Bottom line, you never know when you will need to step up to lead your organization. For me as a lieutenant, in your shoes, it came a lot sooner than I thought it was going to. I went from having a team of 5 to being in front of 500 leading them, and I wish I had this in my toolbox ahead of that. So that's why I'm here with you today to talk about it. It also will give you better followership for your current leaders. So the Air Force calls it followership. The actual text in the book that I'm pulling from for this method refers to it as layered leadership. So you're going to see both, but that's exactly what that is. So it helps you be a better leader for your current leaders that are above you, trying to lead strategically. It also gives you awareness to gain experience from others. So once you know about these techniques, you're going to start seeing it all across your organizations, and you're going to start noticing things that you didn't pick up on before if you really take it to heart and incorporate it. And then finally, it helps you be deliberate with your teams and your work. So being deliberate with your decisions and within your teams, you're going to help develop them better, you're going to develop better, and then you're going to help your organization succeed because you're more aware of what your current senior leaders are doing and trying to get after. So all of this comes from the Strategic Leaders Roadmap, originally written by Michael Useem, but also in the revised version, there's also another author, Mr. Singh. So we're talking about chapters 2 through 7 of that today. So Useem and Singh outline 6 main points in the Strategic Leaders Checklist, and they're all right there on the screen. And we're going to dive into each of those in depth. So starting right off the bat with integrating strategy and leadership. So Singh and Useem define leading strategically as mastering the elements of strategy and leadership, both separately and as an integrated whole. And to do that, you have to look at both separate and then how they impact each other. So you do that by asking these 2 key questions. For the strategy, how is our organization positioned to meet a given strategic goal? And then on the leadership side, do we have the right people, culture, and architecture in place to meet that goal? Now, architecture doesn't just mean the building. It means all of your resources that you have on hand, right? So that can be fiscal, that can be money, that can be people and the tools that you have available to you, anything and everything, just your resources in general. Again, to integrate strategy and leadership, you'll need to balance immediate leadership demands with long-term strategy. So we're always going to have those urgent pop-up things that are short notice that we need to get done or handle in the grand scheme of things, handle them in the unit. However, you can't lose sight of those long-term strategy goals, because otherwise you're not gonna progress as a unit, and you're gonna get the mission done, but you're not gonna move forward with any strategy. And again, you'll also need to link daily decisions to your strategic goals. So being deliberate with those decisions, and then adapting to shifting missions. So how many times have you had it where the mission changes, or something gets thrown off and you reassess. So as leaders, especially leaders that are being strategic in how they're leading, you'll find that your commanders are going to be constantly looking back at that strategy and saying, hey, how are we doing? Are we actually heading in the direction I thought we were? If with these changes, maybe we're not, maybe we need to adjust a little bit. So just being able and ready to adapt as needed. So now our first activity. You are a new flight commander of the POL Fuels Flight. Shout out to the maintainers in the room. In the month leading up to now, the flight has had significant turnover, with experienced maintainers leaving and being replaced with airmen straight from technical school. Additionally, your squadron commander just tasked you with supporting a new flying schedule that increases refueling needs to meet a higher headquarters tasking. What are your strategic considerations? What about leadership considerations? How should your flight's members, culture, and architecture be redeployed and restructured to achieve this new direction? Absolutely. Good points. So moving into the next second part of this checklist, we need to learn to lead strategically. So there's 3 avenues for this. Directed learning is exactly what we're doing now. It's formal courses, it's sitting down and getting briefed on different theories and strategies and things. Learning about leadership in a classroom environment or being taught something. One-on-one coaching is your mentorship, so that's seeking feedback and experience from your leaders around you, your experienced airmen below you, and any sort of person that you look up to as a mentor in your life and in your career. And then also instructive experience. That is what we all kind of get, I feel like, as we move through our careers. You're given enhanced responsibility, you're given more challenging projects and things to run, and you learn from those experiences and take that with you to lead strategically. So for the past year or so for you all, it's all about being tactical. It's all about knowing your job. You've probably been told, hey, I need to know my job. I need to be good at it. That's my job right now. And it has been. And soon it's going to be transitioning from that tactical point of view to strategic thinking. So you're going to have to actually care and start engaging with that strategy that your organization is trying to do, to then message it out to others. Also, you'll need to anticipate challenges and opportunities to learn and grow, and also commit to continuous learning and reflection. You're not just done, magically 5 years in. Like, we're all going to have to continue to learn as we move through our careers in the Air Force. So next, ensure strategic fit. So ensuring strategic fit means aligning resources with strategy and checking if the structure supports mission success, and then identifying and correcting misalignments early and often. So with that, that's usually picking the right leader for the right job at the right time with the right resources. I have a great story about misalignments. So I was chosen as a strategic fit for a sports day for my base 2 years ago. And that was totally within my realm of experience and my current position and all that. So I go ahead and start planning it. And as we're planning it, the day actually evolves, where the event now senior leaders wanted it to be more of an open house in the community day with the local public. So we were inviting people onto the base. In addition to the sports day, we had like food trucks and static aircraft displays and things like that. And it was getting to be a little bit out of my wheelhouse and out of my experience in depth. So my leaders around me noticed that misalignment mainly because I asked and brought it up to them. And instead of removing me from the challenge and taking away that learning opportunity, they actually supported me and supported that misalignment by adding in a couple of team members that were more experienced in those areas to help me with that part of it. So it was actually pretty great. So it doesn't necessarily mean firing or removing people from positions. You can always add to the resources that they're given, right, to help them learn and succeed. Okay, activity 2. Your squadron's director of operations is looking for a member to lead the unit's Christmas party for the year. Who do you pick and why? Master Sergeant Smith, Tech Sergeant Snuffy, or Tech Sergeant Spark? I'll let you read them, and we'll talk about it in a second. That's right. So all good inputs. I would personally probably say Tech Sergeant Snuffy. And remember, none of these are bad choices. Like, you're just trying to get the best strategic fit. So I would probably vote for Tech Sergeant Snuffy to help round him out with his development. And in turn, I would ask probably Master Sergeant Smith or Tech Sergeant Spark to kind of mentor him in that, or be a part of the team of people that he was going to lead to help plan that Christmas party. Conveying strategic intent is the next point on the checklist. So in order to do that, you need to communicate the mission and vision clearly, translate strategy into simple, tangible goals for people to accomplish, and you need to keep the messaging consistent across the ranks. That is way easier said than done. So with that, have you ever been unclear on what your commander is trying to communicate? And then I'd love to hear about how you handled it and what could have been done better. So who's got a good story to share? All right, thank you. Moving on to layered leadership. So you need to layer leadership. The Air Force logistically does this for us with our rank structure, but it's also up to us as CGOs and leaders to empower the leaders at every level, not micromanage them. We need to make sure that they're feeling empowered and ready to actually take on those initiatives and lead the people within their sphere. We also need to clearly define goals for each level and ensure that we maintain a shared tempo to keep the unit on track across those different layers. Can't have one group getting ahead of the other, so you got to make sure that is everyone's still moving in the right direction. Also ensuring frequent communication and feedback that should flow up and down the layers. So that's key for all of it, right? And then also working across the layers. The biggest thing is not working in a funnel. You have to talk to all of the different layers. You have to be talking with your airmen, your NCOs, your senior NCOs, and above you as well. You need to be talking with them frequently so that you know that you're still aligned and in the right spot. and taking the right actions and deliberate decisions that you need to be making to continue to be strategic as an organization. And again, developing that strategic leadership in all the layers. So that'll look different in each layer, but it's the same principles each time. So they need to be taking that initiative and looking for those deliberate tasks and actions that they can be making to help or move the organization forward. And finally, decide deliberatively. So this is making disciplined decisions, like I keep saying. And by doing that, you need to think through the third and fourth order effects of those decisions. So making sure that we aren't, just doing what's good in the moment versus how is that going to impact us six to 12 months from now. And then by being disciplined in your decisions, you're also protecting against decision biases, which is huge. That's definitely going to help you make solid decisions that are going to be strategically relevant to your organization. So how do you do this? You need to weigh risks and benefits carefully. You need to balance speed with analysis. I know a lot of times we are not given enough time or adequate information to make your perfect decision, right? So you're going to need to know when you need to make that decision, but you also need to analyze it, take the time, include a wide range of perspectives in the decisions by reaching across, up and down, the chain and going to those different layers and seeing it from different points of view. You're going to be preparing a deliberate, good decision that is going to help set the unit up for success. To close out, firms that have well-developed strategies but underdeveloped leaders are likely to fall short, and firms with well-developed leaders but underdeveloped strategies are prone to face the same. So all in all, you need all 6 parts of the strategic leaders checklist to achieve strategic leadership. And you need both strategy and leadership to be able to have a successful outcome within an organization. So again, it's important to try out each and every one of these. Don't just, pick your favorite. Like, you need all of them in order to succeed. And also, by applying and using this in your own layer of leadership now, you can help move your organization strategically. Again, now. Don't wait with this. Don't wait until you're a director. Don't wait until you're a commander. It's coming, and we need you to be ready for it. So if you go ahead and start trying this out now, you're going to feel more comfortable with it. You're going to learn more, and you're going to be more experienced and ready when it is time to go lead large organizations like that. Other than that, there's the source. It's a good book. It's on Kindle if you want to try it out, if you want to read more about it. And that concludes my brief. Are there any questions? All right, I hope you all have a great rest of the day and a great rest of your course.